How are you doing today? My name is Jason, and I will be talking to you about cells using oxygen to maintain life. So, for starters, human life requires cells, our basic unit of life, that eventually go more complex into tissues, organs, things along those lines. So, with these cells, without oxygen, they will die, and long terms, humans will die. So, what exactly happens if there's no oxygen or a lack of oxygen? So, with these cells, do they just kind of sit around, wait for things to happen, or what exactly goes on with that? So, the question used to always remain unanswered until a few months ago when three scientists found out that these cells have a molecular switch that goes on. So, what exactly does this mean? These main point one and two can be either there is too little of oxygen or too much of oxygen. And we'll kind of talk more about the molecular switch in these 2 points. So, with main point number one, oxygen being too low, this molecular switch will cause a HIF thing, which is known as a hypoxia inducible factor. Sorry, I didn't think about the name on that. But a hypoxia inducible factor will release a EPO gene, which will cause red blood cell formation. Hence, more oxygen will come about because to create red blood cells, you need oxygen. This is what happens when the oxygen is too low. This HIF will increase. Main point number two is if oxygen is too high. So kind of a weird question, but cells need oxygen to live. What do you mean if oxygen is too high, for example? Well, if oxygen is too high, these cells can die as well. In fact, it is even more dangerous for the oxygen levels to be too high than too low. So these cells, the main goal is just to maintain homeostasis, as with tissues, organs, things along that matter, the human body, for matter of fact. So when these oxygen levels are too high, the HIF, the hypoxia inducible factor, it will decrease. If the oxygen levels are too high, as I've stated before, this can lead to death, unconsciousness, damage of your lungs, untroubled breathing, things along that matter. So your body, as I said, wants to maintain its homeostasis. Kind of concluding all of this, what I wrapped up about, these three scientists have made a major contribution to biology and just human life as it is. I know a lot of people may ask the question, how is this related to me? This isn't really much importance to me. Well, it's kind of interesting just because these three scientists won a Nobel Prize in medicine for their acknowledgement of finding that cells have this molecular switch to find oxygen rather than just kind of sit around, wait, and die. They actually have an answer. Thank you for your time.